This is probably everything that I'm going to need for this job. We have 1mm cable, 2.5mm cable, cable tongue, Rumpotech, multi-tool, drill, mask, goggles, fuse spur, level maybe, Rumpotech inspection camera. You may not have this, but it will come in useful if you do, or something like it. Cable rods, hoover, tools, accessories, bin. All the normal stuff that a competent electrician will have. Hi, I'm Adam, and today I'm working with the Professional Electricians YouTube channel, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to install the Q Acoustics E300 amplifier and speaker kit.
And inside box number one, you have the amplifier, and on the back you can see all of the connections, RJ45s, the speaker connections, an optical connection, and of course the power cable connection. It also comes with a drilling template, this will come in handy later, and also a box of accessories including the speaker cable, the power cable including a 3-amp fuse, a remote, the connectors for the speaker cable, and the next box contains your 2 speakers. Another drilling template, do not lose these. Magnetic speaker covers, which is a lovely touch. And of course, the speakers themselves.
There is a growing opportunity for electricians to get involved in the whole smart world electrical installations, and this is probably a great place to start. The E300A requires a power source, and it does come with a plug that you can plug in. Now this will work brilliantly if you're installing this system on the top floor and you've got like a loft space where you have a socket and you can simply plug it in and run the speaker cables to the speakers. Unfortunately, in this case, I don't have that option. So I need to find a way of getting a power supply into this ceiling void. This job is all about planning. So I'm going to spend a bit of time working out where the amplifier is going to go and where the speakers are going to go. The system that I've got installed is suitable for a room about this size. You can buy additional speakers to plug into the amplifier, which will give you 4 speakers in total for a larger area.
The first thing I'm going to do is pop down a load of the downlights to see if I can use these access holes for fishing my cables. An inspection camera will help you out a lot in this case, and I'm using the Rumpotech one here.
This is very convenient. So what you can do with this is at the end is the camera and a little torch, and then it comes with a rod which you can pop in there, nice and flexible but rigid enough to like keep the camera straight for a little bit, and then I can pop this in my downlight and see what's going on up there. So what I have here, I have a switch fuse spur which is labelled up fan, which is for this, but that should be on the ring, and that I can see the cable coming up on here, which I'll try and show you. Right, see that cable there on the right? That is the cable that's feeding the fan. So I know there's a way up in that wall to the ceiling void, which means in theory, if that's on the ring, I can put another fuse spur next to it, break into the ring, and then get another cable up to feed the amplifier, and then use all of the holes from the downlights to fish my cables to where I want the speakers to go.
After cleaning my work area and isolating the circuit that I'm working on, it's time to try and fish some cables about.
So what I really want to do is put the amplifier about here. So I need to make sure, I know I've definitely got a joist here, so I'm going to make sure I can get through that from this downlight maybe, and use this camera to help me find a route.
After a fair bit of jiggery pokery, I decided that I needed to take down the extractor, which will give me a massive access hole into this ceiling void, which will make fishing the cables about much easier. Now that I'm satisfied that I can get my cables to where they need to be, out comes the multi-tool, and I'm going to cut in that switch fuse spur next to the existing one, which is going to supply my amplifier.
There we go, so I've got my cable from where the fuse spur is going to here. Now I just need to get it to where the amplifier is going. The amplifier comes with this template. It's 102mm, which I don't have a hole saw for, so we're going old school pad saw. And I definitely don't have a 203mm one, so it's going to get a little bit messy.
I'm using a laser level here to make sure that amplifier sits bang on in the middle of these 2 downlights here. And where this is a fairly big hole, a little tip for you: once you've cut it out, leave the piece of plasterboard above the ceiling, so if it ever needs patching in the future, it's there ready to go.
So for this system, you need a minimum depth of 134mm, and here I have 250, so it's absolutely perfect for this.
Next, I'm going to cut out my 2 holes for the speakers. If you have a home renovation project coming up, it is worth throwing some cables in for these, because if your customer decides to go down this new smart route, this system is dead easy to install.
So the way that this amplifier is wired is it requires a transformer from a 240 supply. So this transformer plugs into here, and then your 240 supply plugs into here, but it's got a plug on it, so I'm going to cut that off and use a joint box and pop that in the ceiling. And then you have speaker cable which connects to here to both speakers. So now I've got my 240 supply here. I'm going to now run this speaker cable from here to both my speaker points. You get with this speaker cable approximately 1, 2, 3, 4 meters with it. So bear that in mind with the positioning of your speakers.
Now that I've got all my cables in place without damaging any of the ceiling, which is brilliant, I can swap out the 13 amp fuse for a 3 amp and get that connected up. It's a little bit of a tight space to work in here, and as you can see, I did have to chase a little bit of the wall out just because there was a little bit of dot and dab in the way, but that won't take me much to fill that and make that good. The next stage is to get the amplifier connected up. I'm cutting off the plug top and using a whisker box and some Wagos to join my cables together.
Whoa. So what we have left is these little connector blocks which connect up to the speaker cable, one for the left and one for the right. And then these will plug into the amplifier, which I'll show you in a minute. So I've got black and black red, and I've got red and black red. I'm going to keep the one with the stripe always on the left of the connections, so that'll be the negative. That is all ready to go. An additional extra that I recommend you purchase are these fire hoods, which have a 60-minute fire rating.
These are only required for the speakers.
The way you fit these is you push it through the hole first of all, and then you have these little catches here, and it comes with a couple of pins, and you need to have that pushed into the side of the plasterboard and then fix it into it with a pin.
You do get 4 nails in the kit, but I lost 2, so I used a couple of screws. Just a bit of improvisation.
And then to connect up the speakers, you have a positive and a negative lever terminal there. So just push them in there like so, and then to fix it to the ceiling, all you have to do is push it up through the hole and then start doing up one of the screws. And what that will do is it will activate this, which will drop down and pinch to the plasterboard.
If you need to, you can just undo these screws and the speaker will drop out nice and easy.
And this is the final bit to the speakers, which appear to be magnetic. Nice.
Once I've repeated this exact process with the other speaker, it's time to work on the amplifier.
The amplifier has 2 LAN connections there if you want to hardwire this to the internet. I'm going to be doing it through Wi-Fi, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. You have an optical connector there in case you want to connect this up to your TV. Left and right sockets for the speakers. And finally, the power supply.
Now all you have to do is push in all of those connectors that we pre-wired and pop the amplifier into that ceiling. Turn all the power back on, and if you have a blue spinning light, it's a good sign. Once you put the batteries in a remote, it's time to download the Q app, which is available both on the Apple and Google app stores. This will help make the setup really easy, and it will talk you through the commissioning step by step.
Alexa, play rock music. Absolutely brilliant. This system doesn't just work with Alexa. It works with Apple AirPlay, Spotify Connect, Amazon Music, and it Bluetooth connects to your phone so you can just play music or whatever you want to do with it. I've had this in for a week now to give it a real good test before I tell you what I think about it. And if I'm completely honest with you, installation, dead easy. Ties in with your phone, dead easy. The quality of the sound is absolutely bang on. So if you are looking for a home entertainment system, I can honestly recommend this. Q Acoustics offer a massive range of products, and I'm going to be showing and sharing these with you on this channel. So make sure you don't miss that and subscribe to the Professional Electrician YouTube channel.